Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time of day this is for you. A little later morning for me. Welcome. It's me. Wingishni Bay Majeki Kwe. Your friendly, freaky ass sweetgrass water medicine woman. Christianna Chris Car, superstar. All this beautiful divine being right here. My tablet did go out. I wanted that picture that I took. Did I do it last week? I thought we'd do that Moonlodge, that inward tree for centering, since we're here in the middle of the week. We at the hump day. We're at the hump day. I don't know if you could read all those positions. Again, if you wanted to do that for yourself. I usually have my book sitting under there, but I don't. So I don't actually need this here. And I got stuff in my way. How's it going? This is within Wednesdays. So I have an appointment. Queuing out of the Zoom meeting. I believe so. Oh, I figured this will help me too. Getting centered. Staying grounded. My whole true self. Loving divine self the way my creator made me. Got a candle. Brought the black one. Is Wednesdays. West. Women. Within. Introspection. Black is that color. There we go. Used my owl feathers. See through deceptions. Pulling back the veils. Seeing clearly who we are. Based on how our source made us. Whatever that is. Let's get to our center. Let's get to the center, get down to the center, get into the center. Oh, I love you all. Thank you very much for your patience with me. I hope I'm at least a little entertaining. I watch my back. I try. Watch my videos back, and I'm sorry I get that hoop. I don't know if it comes through on your TV, if my speakers may be broken or something, but it makes my all vibe. I'm like, whoa, I can be pretty loud, hey? Like, gets your attention? Maybe that's what it's doing. That's what you think. Hey, maybe it's because maybe you go off and you're not really paying attention anymore. Just bring it back, focus. Woo, woo. Over here, I'm still talking. Isn't that wonderful though? The video, you can fast forward, just get right to the point. Right? You can skip through whatever. Hey, whatever you're being guided to. Start at the end and go to the beginning, right? Whatever. However you're being guided to do that. Alright, find a ring. Tired. It's getting into this really tired, really fatigued day. It's part of the cycle time. Pay attention to your cycles.
What's been coming up for you, right? Have you been catching on to your cycles? You don't have to say your cycles or whatever. Just like, yeah, I've done this exercise, and I did. I caught on to a few cycles. I've been working on changing them. And how's that going, you know? I have to constantly remind myself, or, you know, it's coming up less and less, so I don't have to catch those thoughts and change them in the moment, right? Today. This is the action for today. I start thinking about yesterday, too. Tomorrow never comes. I'm like, oh, my goodness, that could be taken so many ways, so please. Please. Why wait for a time that's not coming? That's what I mean. Why are we putting off our happiness waiting until? Right? If we're not going to be happy until tomorrow, well, tomorrow's not coming. We get theirs today. Right? So be happy today. We choose that in these moments. Find the happy bits in there. They're always, you know, days aren't completely shit. And maybe sometimes there is. Because, hey, maybe we need some fertilizer. Shit makes great fertilizer. Hello, right? So let's get all of our energies back here together, calling all of our energies back from the east, path of illumination and clarity, place of fire, place of man. Calling back all of our energies from the south, place of water, the childhood, the innocence, place of emotions. Calling back all of our energies from the west. That's, let's say, the wisdom years. And sometimes, maybe, the wisdom years is coming next. Thank you for helping me through this. Making sure message clear comes through whatever they need to hear from you. Thank you, Creator. Okay, calling back. That's our wisdom years. Okay, I tripped up on my own self. West is the earth, the physical, the woman introspection. This would be our adulthood years, right? Then we go up into the wisdom years, our senior years, our elder years, the air, the mental. And we walk a red road. That's our earth walk. From a south, right? We're in these little babies in the cradle bar, little babies, right? And we're learning and reacting and learning to respond to those beings around us and how to get our needs met. So we learned and how adults respond to our needs too. We learn how to respond and how we're responded to. Interesting, right? South in the childhood, up into adulthood. Oh, excuse me. Time to go to school. Adulthood, where we reach that victory. Hopefully we encounter cruise and see those little, look at those little steps that we made, right? And applauding those, taking those actual first steps. That's a victory, right? The first word. Look at those little victories that we've had. We don't need those great big ones. Look at those little ones and we build from there. Right? And we add them all up, and that makes a beautiful life, right? Then you've lived your life. There's a big victory when you look up and you see all these experiences that have come together up in these wisdom years, and you made it to those wisdom years. There's a victory in itself. Wow. Woohoo, hand up, made it to those senior wisdom years. Woohoo, I'm looking forward to those, if I make it. East to west is the blue road of spirit. That is always with us, right? That's the east. We do our prayers, connect with spirit there in the east. It's also where we're born, come from the spirit into these physical bodies from the east. So we return to that. We keep praying for that illumination and clarity, for that inner peace, to tap into that with inner selves. Inner peace, right? So it's inner peace. Nobody can get in there with you, except for your source. East to west, the blue road of spirits, always with us, no exceptions. We separate from that, right? Where we sacrifice ourselves. Sacrifice that self, the little self, right? We get in touch with that soul self, right? That source self, of the source of ourself and who we are. Right? And remember that sun dance. That's where the man can contribute and know what a woman goes through as the life givers. Men, the life protectors. Women, the life givers. That blood, sweat, and tears, you know, labor, can be real laborious. Can be really, take a long, long time. And blood, sweat, and tears is left there. So that's what these do. And then, of course, would look very gruesome. But dancing to and fro, that's the respect. We need to have respect for all life, for all beings, because we all belong here. Not one is more important than the other. Symbiotic relationships, we need to work in cooperation. That's what keeps us going. Above, below, And within. Thank you. Thank you. All our relations with us. All our relations, they teach us. They don't want us to repeat those things that brought defeat. Right, when we got a war, there's no winners or losers. Everybody loses when we're fighting, right? Keep fighting. Keep fighting fire with fire. Who's going to put us out, right? That's what I always thought. There's no need for fighting. There's no need for yelling and screaming. Nobody gets heard in yelling and screaming. The louder you are, the less you hear. Or the less that person you want to hear you hears you. Right? What happens? Right? Quietly. Subtle. Subtleties. What things mean the most to you? What were those victories that brought you the most joy? Those big ones, or was it those little ones that maybe took a whole lot of effort, but it seemed something very little, but it was something so big for you? Back, below, and within. Like, do we criticize babies? You just learned to walk. Oh, come on! I've been doing that for most of my life. I've been walking, so but that's a big deal for that little one. Right? So let's look at that. Do we judge other people by because, maybe that was something that was simple for us and we take for granted that came easy to us, but it might not come easy to somebody else? Whatever that is, right? So look at that within your own self. We can't do it in anybody else. You can't do my within work. I can't do your within work. But we can stand together and show each other support. We can for sure. Support. Not criticize. Not this is what you should have done, coulda, woulda, shouldas. You don't know. You don't know until you're in that position. Well, especially I thought that, you can trust these systems that are out there to protect kids and stuff like that. Boy, this whole experience, no, I saw just how twisted and backwards this really is. It was something that helped me when I was a child and helped my mother to escape abusive relationships. And then, wow, when the cycles repeated, well, it wasn't the same here. Whether, and there's no one governing policy for the CAS. Things that I learned were quite disturbing, actually, to be quite truthful. And I will be pursuing a path. I don't take it personally on each individual because they're people governed by policies, right? Some people will try to work within that. Some just stick right to it, right? And that's, hey, there's some that are like totally by the book. There's some that are more open or trying to work within that to help you, right? All in the best interest for help and support, right? But, it's nobody to blame. There's absolutely nobody to blame for the situation I'm in here now, too. There's nobody to blame. These are systems and things that have been so out of whack, and here I come along in it, and this is not... I'm not a victim of it. My children aren't a victim of it. This is just another highlight to say that this needs to change. When there's big decisions made for children and it's not based in the truth, you can't make a clear children. Can't make a clear choice or recommendation from children if you don't have the whole story or you're refusing to see parts of it because it's not matching up to the picture you already painted in your head. So, just because you have a title or anything doesn't make you less human. Or doesn't make you better than human, right? Doesn't make you, immune to humans' tendencies to be biased or ego or anything like that. So, I plead with you, if you have any kind of position and any kind of authority where you can make decisions on that affects children's lives especially, please, don't let your credentials or certificates or anything get in the way of keeping that open mind and knowing that you don't know everything, that things have been a mess. And, especially when a mother's going through something and doesn't seem to be believed because, well, there's a small percentage of people that actually made this stuff up. Only a small percentage, but that affects all. So, it's time to really seriously look at that. It's not about blame. Again, it's not about blame. We're all human beings here, doing the best we can. It's about looking at that. If you're going to make a decision, be confident in that. Are you confident you have all the information and you have it corrected? Are you confident that your humanness hasn't been caught up in something unprofessional or whatever? I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I haven't accused anybody of anything. I've reported what's been told to me, what I've seen. Personally, things have gotten mixed up, and boy, that ever makes a mess because it's still humans writing down. They listen to you, and then they write it down later. So if they get those facts mixed up in those papers, that's a big tough one too. Because even though they know humans is, we're not infallible, we can make mistakes. It's still anything that's written down gets taken as facts because it's written down. Just because it was written down doesn't make it a fact, doesn't make it the truth, doesn't mean that's what was actually said. That's why in these cases everything should be recorded. Everything. Every little thing should be recorded. Visual, right? Video recording. You can see people's expressions, body language. Everything should be recorded and then analyzed after that too. Because even right in those sessions, if you feel offended because, you have a client ask you about your, background credentials or whatever, your education, your experience, your training, please don't take that. Please don't take that as an offense. A client has the right. A client has the right to ask that. A client has the right to ask questions. Mothers, parents, we all have the right to ask questions and not be condemned for asking questions. Anyways, let's move on here to the East card. This card is known as the Whirling Spirit card, the key to unlocking your spiritual nature and clearly seeing your talents and abilities. It's the whirling spirit, whirling spirit. It's the whirling spirit, that talking stick, those viewpoints, the options, right? So many. And when you get a different viewpoint, hey, there's a different option. Right? So we talk to different people. They see it from different perspectives and whatever. So they have different options. Well, you can try this, you can try that, or whatever. I just think this of opinions, too. A lot of people have their opinions. Do you really listen? Because that talking stick, that's where it's honored. It's a healing circle, and that one that has the stick. Nobody else talks. Talking sticks, talking fender, people use stones. Whatever that is, it's symbolic. The one with that talking stick in their hand, everyone is listening and pay attention. No one is to interrupt. The person with that talking stick fully expresses what they feel. If somebody has something they would like to say to that, they need to wait till that talking stick comes around to them. But it's that honoring, sharing, using your voice and those listening. And you know what? Having healing is 95%. 95% of healing is just having your story witnessed without judgment. So we can do that. Or do we have the fear of sharing that? Sometimes we keep that bottled up inside. So if we're keeping something bottled up inside because we don't want to say, right? Like in this whole process, I'm saying everything I say is used against me. I mean, I'm not a criminal. I haven't been arrested. But everything I've said has been used against me to condemn me. When I've been trying to protect my children, that doesn't make sense. So there's a fear then of speaking. Or that fear of I'm going to lose my children. The more I focused on that, whoa, right? So we need to look inside and those viewpoints and options. Are we listening to everybody else? Are we afraid to listen to our own guidance that things have been telling us what to do? Like at the start of all, I got to do nothing. How can I do nothing? I got to do something. That's my children. I got to do. See, again, we got caught up in humans doing. It's hard for us to just be. What does that sound like? You got nothing to do. Just sit. Just to sit. Does that sound like, heaven or torture? Some people that's torture, just to sit quiet with your own thoughts. No, man, no. Right? I don't know. What is that for you? So that's the East. That's the whirling spirit. That's the key to unlocking. So we need to release those fears. Are we calling in those fears? Do you call in your fears? Remember the story of Rabbit. He had a friend. And the friend was magical. She was a good witch, a white witch, and helped Rabbit out. And then Rabbit witnessed her helping somebody else out and was, now you're a witch. And the witch cursed Rabbit and said, you're going to call in your fears. And then Rabbit was out one day and sees Eagle up in the sky and goes, I'm going to let Eagle know I'm not afraid of Eagle. So he hops up onto a rock way out in the open. I'm not afraid of you, Eagle. Well, Eagle was looking for lunch and had flown right by Rabbit. Hadn't even seen Rabbit there, but then heard Rabbit yelling and had some rabbit stew. So, moral of the story, right? We don't need to go facing every fears. To facing our fears, face everything and rise. We can do that without going and calling them in. We can go there, okay, I see that eagle up in the sky. I'm facing that fear. So I'm going to stay here and do my thing. I'll keep my eye up there, but I'm not going to take off and run and hide. That's facing that fear. I'm still going to do my thing. I'm going to go outside. I'm not going to hide inside because eagle's going to be flying by, right? I take precautions to keep myself safe, but I'm not just going to stay inside terrified. So we face our fears by that way, but not by calling them in. You don't go up and slap that demon in the face and go, I'm going to take you on now. Ouch. Whatever that is, right? We don't need to call it on. We can acknowledge them. They're there. Are they holding us back? What's this doing? Because fear is there to keep us safe too, so it's not a bad thing, right? Lets us know. Get into cover, whatever, right? Whatever that is. So let's move around, see more of what this is telling us. The whirling spirit of unlocking those talents and abilities inside of you. The South is the new growth card or seed card. Look to this card for possible beginnings in either personal relationships or in how you relate to the environment. In the Moonlodge spread, this card may also reveal your true feelings about someone or something. It is a card that will show your hidden emotions towards a person or thing. Hidden emotions towards a person or thing. There we go. Just wanted to look. It was only, that went off at 10 to 9. Okay. Wait, that's at like 10:30. We got tons of time here. Self-expression. Are you afraid to express yourself? Is that the true feelings? Or is there only certain places that you express yourself? You express yourself here, but afraid to show it there, So we're hiding parts of ourselves. We're afraid to show that because of others. Hey, somebody might have some opinions about that, right? Maybe it's something, hey, like I'd shared personally from my personal story about singing and afraid to get that criticism for that's something I, right? And then, right, calling my fears in. If I sing, blah, 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 I'm howling in your ears. So I'm calling in my fears to get criticism, but I'm not using my full voice. I'm not using my full expression. What is that for you? The true feelings. How do you feel about your self-expression? Do you show your whole true self? Again. Oh, I just watched that Brene Brown on the Netflix. Oh, just love her. I've watched her TED Talk too. I've watched Super Soul Sunday. Like this is great. I can relate to her story. The vulnerability and shame, that's where her strength comes from. Is your self-expression about hiding your vulnerabilities? Or do you let that show? What is that? Do we have that patience? Right? You're putting out there something that you're not, or, right? I wanted to be the little wise woman, right? I was such a hurry. Right? Instead of getting there, I'm like, I got this part, got this part, wins them down. All right, there, I'm ready. Now I'm dealing with, right? Years and years before my time. That's okay. Let's have that patience. That's self-expression. No. Well, that was coming up for me too. Do you dance? Do you dance? It'd be very good. Dance can be a self-expression. Our clothing is a self-expression. Like I dress not for attention, but as self-expression. So do you dress? Do you, is your self-expression about getting attention, or is it about expressing yourself, your style, and your personality? Maybe it's how you're feeling. Some days I'm dressing according to how I'm feeling. Right? So what is that for you? What's that true feelings about yourself? And that patience. Maybe you haven't found out what that purpose for you is, but you have patience in that. Because Aunt doesn't need to be told what to do. They just do it. So we need to stop telling others what they need to do. Maybe just look at ourselves. Look at our own self-expression. Look at the way we're putting ourselves out in the world. Or are we? Are we even? right? Are we keeping that all inside that nobody gets to see who we are? So how is anybody going to love you for you if you don't let you shine through? How's anybody going to know you? Truly love you. We all want to be loved and accepted just as we are, unconditionally. But how is anybody going to do that if we don't let them see us? If we're too afraid to let our true self show. Right? Let's keep a focus on that. Do you show? Do you express your whole self? Is there something holding you back? Are you afraid of that? Has somebody told you some viewpoints and opinions that didn't sound so great about you and you took that on? You accepted that. You accepted their opinions of you instead of getting in touch with that yourself and who you are deep inside. And as children, we do. We tend to, it's what adults say. They keep saying, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. And well, I might as well be bad, right? Get blamed for all this stuff. Well, geez, I'm not doing it. Well, I might as well go do it if I'm getting blamed for it anyway. A lot of us fall into that. So always be careful. Separate the doing from the beings. Focus on the action that they did. That there's nothing inherently wrong with them. Like when we say bad boy or bad girl, right? That's talking about the being, not the doing. That was bad. You are good, but that was bad. You're a good boy, but that was not so good to do. Because we want our children to learn. There's that healthy guilt because we've done something that hurt somebody else. That's a healthy guilt. We did something wrong. We made a mistake and it caused harm or hurt in some way. So we take responsibility for that. Yeah, it feels yucky. It feels yucky to know you've hurt somebody, But to take responsibility and not go, oh, well, I'm sorry I hurt you, but, because you did, no, that's that's an apology with a backhand. So let's look at that. Let's have patience with ourselves too, because maybe we've done that. And we've blocked some self-expression from somebody. Whatever that is, we need to have patience with ourselves. Everybody was designed for their own thing. Even if it looks the same as somebody else, it doesn't bring your flavor. Right? Okay, and then we move over here into the west. Into the west is the dream within the dream. Ooh, a dream within a dream. It may lead you to your real purpose in life, so study it carefully. Is your dream a vision or product of your superficial ego? Or are you being truly introspective and realizing the goals for which your higher self is suggesting? It is here in the West that you impregnate yourself with your real life mission. Impregnate yourself with your real life mission, right? So of course it's a card for everybody, but each one will get something different. Even if it's the same, it's going to have your flavor. So whatever that is, the dream within the dream. There we go. There we go. Ooh. Inner peace. Aren't we all dreaming of that inner peace, right? Hey, if we wait till everything settles down, we're not going to. Everything's got to be okay on the outside for me to find that peace on the inside. It's the opposite way around. Let's find that peace on the inside. No, it's not finding. It's there. It's already there. Oh, we've just covered it over. It's there. It's not lost. It's always been there. But we need to bring ourselves to that stillness and quiet. And so many of us are just so afraid to be still and quiet because there's been so much that's happened in our lives. We're not the only ones to go through this, right? So that patience we see. We've been brought up in a very abusive world. And it still goes on. Where we hurt each other instead of helping each other. Right? We go on reputations instead of looking at characters. Whatever. And it's really stinky. We got stinky reputation as humans sometimes. Don't we? Want to control. Take over everything. What is that for you? What's your reputation? Are you more concerned about your reputation, what people think about you? Or are you more concerned about your inner peace, your connection with your source, your soul, how you're sharing that out? Because, you know, you're accepted and loved 100% just as you are by your source. It's people. People are picky. Right? People are picky and point fingers. Here we go, the PPPs again. Don't be a PP. Projection. Person. Whatever that is. Okay? So focus on that character. Strength of character and who you are. Then you'll find that inner peace, because once you know who you are, right? Those without can never fool you again. And that's what's the whole point of this, getting to our true center here. That inner peace. We're not going to find that based on that reputation. If we keep trying to please others and keep trying to get them to see us as we see ourselves, it doesn't matter. We can't change their perception. They're going to see from their own colored glasses, whatever color their glasses might be. Right? So it's not trying to convince somebody of who we are. We just be who we are. Just be who we are. Let that speak for itself, right? Just let our character speak for itself. Remind the reputation. 100 different people, 100 different reputations. It's that character. Then we get up to the wisdom years. The wisdom years. Up in the north. This card indicates the inner wisdom you may not have recognized in yourself. The north is the power place of wisdom and knowing. Therefore, if you are looking outside for answers, this card gently nudges you into following the animal's lead to find the same wisdom within yourself. Studying this card with the idea of knowing yourself will break any self-deception you may have. Let's break this self-deception up here in these wisdom years. We know ourselves better than anybody. And if you don't know yourself, how is anybody going to know you? How are they going to fall in love with that true you? Right, that bird in basket, that's the inner wisdom. Self-reliance. The self-reliance for our own happiness, for our own health, to take care of our own bodies. We don't put that on somebody else. If we got illnesses, whether physical, mental, whatever, these are our responsibilities to reach out for that help. It's not somebody else's. And if we take it on and we're helping somebody else, let's realize that. We've taken something else on. And if they keep coming back to us, well, we can teach, right? We teach people how to treat us. We can enable people because we keep being there for them. So they come relying on us instead of becoming reliant on themselves. We can do that to our children too. We can do that to our children too. Instead of helping them to become self-reliant, we're doing everything for them. And then they go out in that world and they become burdens in the world instead of helping and contributing. Because they haven't learned that self-reliance, because they haven't been able to do anything for themselves. Everything's done for them. Even they're arguing for their jobs or whatever. So let's look at that. Are we helping to nurture that self-reliance in our children? Are we keeping them, right? We need to know those boundaries. That's what we're here for. To have kids have boundaries, teach them how to stay in them, but not keep them sheltered so much and be overprotective and be helicopter parents that they don't get to explore. If they have strong, healthy boundaries and strong, healthy attachments, they're going to go further. Isn't that more scary? But look at, that's a testament to the job you have done. If your child will go far to explore. They know they got safety there with you because a child will go further. If they're clingy to you, they won't go, then you're doing them a disservice. You have put too many boundaries that they're scared to go out in that world. You've made them afraid to go and explore. We do that by our own fears because we want to protect them from everything. We can't. It's not our jobs as parents. It's not our jobs as parents. We're the bow. They're the arrow. They're meant to fly free from us. Hopefully they come back to change their diapers. You know, it all depends on what happened in their childhood. Whatever, right? But we need that for ourselves too, right? And then those boundaries too of what we'll have done for us and what we need to do for ourselves. We innately know that, right? So don't be going and asking somebody to do for you what you could do for yourself. And again, don't be helping somebody else that's perfectly capable. There's nothing stopping them except for maybe their own choice of doing something that they could do for themselves. Because things stick more when we do it for ourselves. Look at your little victories. You know, did it feel like a victory if somebody stepped in and then did it for you? Did that feel like a victory for you? You know, is it a victory for that child if they get an A on their science project, but it was the parent that did that? They still have no idea and no understanding of what that means. What is that? What is that? I'm just picking random examples here. I don't know. So the central card indicates the integration point of all the directional medicines of your personal unconscious. It is the power shield of the true self. This is the card of the circle of knowing, the within, the taproot of your personal consciousness. Know the true self, the within, and those without never again deceive you. Can never again deceive you. When we know ourselves, we're not going to accept what everybody else says. We're not going to worry about our reputation, right? It's like, they're talking about me, they're giving somebody else a break. Give them something to talk about, right? You know, I was one that never cared about my reputation. Give them something to talk about. Well, kind of in these situations, it's like kind of oops. When they're taking that like seriously, like come on. Anyways, so that true self. The animals that'll help us get in touch with that true self, that path, going down that path, helps us get in touch with that true self. Our true selves, right? We're all part of this humanity. That's a true self, the truest part of us. We're all made by the same source or come from the same source, no matter what you call it. There's a truth in that. And, oh yeah, that's really warm. Okay. That truth, right, the unlimited vision you have of yourself. The dream time. What have you dreamed? What did you want to be, right? Let's get in touch with that. The camouflage. Have you been hiding or have you been standing out? Right? Because fox, oh, it's a sly fox. That's one that will double back on its tracks and, you know, you try and follow that fox. Also one that knows when to hide. They're very protective of their littles. Their fur changes colors. Is that time to hide or stand out? That's that true self. Have we been camouflaging because somebody didn't like that, or we got a reputation? Oh, being too bossy when we're meant to step into a leadership role, but you get, you're so bossy, you're so bossy, you're so bossy, and then you stop being bossy because it seems to be a bad thing. So you don't ever take that role. What is that for you? What is that unlimited vision you had for yourself? Hey, maybe you can connect into that unlimited vision that, hey, your source had for you. Don't try and hide. Let it all shine out, right? We could blend in so much. Look, all some of the ants all look the same. But they're so different and unique. Some are a little bigger. Some are, some might not even look like they belong to that same colony. But they're all part because they're made for different things. We're not all meant to look the same. We're not all meant to do the same things. And maybe we are. Maybe there's some that are. Again, you bring your own flavor to it. Right? So that's how we get in touch with that self. Follow that foxes. There's times to like camouflage and blend in. There's times to stand out and shine your light bright. Getting in touch with that internal timing, that internal peace, and your own self-expression. Right? Will help you. It'd be the fear, like following that fear, right? Are we camouflaging? Are we going to hide because, well, geez, we really need to take this? Fear is telling us we do need to take cover right now. Or are we hiding because we're fearing anything? Well, it's false experience appearing real. Something like that, right? So we're making it up in our head, right? A lot of times what we fear doesn't even come to be. Right? So we need to purify all that out. Purifying all that we're not, we're left with what we are. Right? That moose, that self-esteem. Tutu, look at that. That self-expression. That's what it's all about. True, centered in ourselves. Right? Moose doesn't get shaken very easily. Eh? We'll stand up to that Mack truck. Hey, and if that Mack truck honks, hey, Moose is going to go try and make him a girlfriend then. That's a self-esteem. That's true self-esteem. Right there. Moose doesn't have to pretend to be anything. Moose is just a moose, right? Moose is just a moose and happy to be a so. So that's what we're doing. We're finding that true self, tapping into that. right? Oh, there they go. Flop, flop, floppity, flop. Didn't even look. So I'm already, it's kind of getting long, and I want to get it uploaded. And we're at 9:22, so I got an error. Got an error, I do. Maybe back here. Woohoo. There, that's self-esteem. We're purifying all that we're not, and we're left with what we are. Purifying all that we're not, and we're left with what we are. Right, okay, and then we got the talking stick, that fear. Whirling spirit, that's command, form, order. Number 4. Taking command for the good of all. Right, taking command of your own fears. You know, facing them. I should not put that fire by my face. Excuse me. I'm going to burn myself. So we're taking command for the good of all, right? If I burnt my face, that wouldn't be very good. I couldn't get through all of this. Whatever. Okay. So that form and order, this is what we need to do. So those options, what we feared, okay, that whirling spirit, key to unlocking your natural talents and abilities. So we're taking command of our fears. We're not letting our fear run us, right? We're getting ahead of that fear and letting it push us. Or we can get behind that fear and let it hold us back. So we're taking command for the good of all. So we're not going to go out there and scream in our fears. No. Take form and order. We know. We're going to acknowledge. Eagle's up there. I'm going to stay over here. I'm not going to stay in my house because I need stuff to do, but I'm not going to let the fears keep me locked in. So we take form and order, taking command for the good of all. And who can we command? Ow! Our own bodies. Be gentle. Right? We can't control anybody else. We take command of our own bodies here. Right? Working with them. Our own feelings and emotions. We, get centered in our being. And then we have, we can't always control our emotions. Sometimes they come up, but we can choose to respond. How we respond to that comes up. All right, and then the self-expression and the patience. This is the true feelings on the situation or person. One card. We're finding our center and true feelings on our self-expression. Finding our center. Patience. Okay. Well, 2 flipped over here. A few came out, but 2 flipped over. 9 of arrows. Doubt. Overcome doubt and fear. Overcome doubt and fear. Listen to the truth of the sages. Doubt. Overcome by action. That's how we overcome it. So this is what we're doing. We're overcoming that doubt and fear by taking command of it all. This is what we want to do. That's that whirling spirit. This is what we need to do. We go down because, this is young. This is new. We need to listen to the truth of the sages, the ones that have been there. That's the 7 of arrows. 9 of arrows, 7 of arrows. It's all in that mental. We start, what are we thinking? How do we feel about it? So it's not just in the thinking, although arrows is about the thought. The emotions are coming up. How are we feeling about those emotions? Right? Are we feeling impatient that I'm not there yet? Oh, this isn't me. I haven't found who I am. Blah, 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 right? What is that for you? So you overcome doubt and fear by just taking that action and expressing yourself. Right? We listen to the truths of the sages. Who's been there? Who's done that? How? What helped them? Might not be the same things, but maybe there is something in there that helps us too. Okay, one on the inner peace there, the dream within the dream. Dream within the dream. There we go. Well, just have a look at that one, that 5 bowls, right? Coming together, that letting go, the dream within the dream of letting go. Wisdom to discern. What do I need to let go of? What is this here to teach me? The wisdom to discern. Discernment. That's the judgment in the regular deck. This is initiation. Discern. Okay, is this that instinct to run and hide? Is this my intuition? What is that? There's a difference between that instinct and intuition, because instinct is more to keep us safe. Intuition, it might lead us into something that might seem dangerous, but, and then the instinct would be to go, but the intuition is saying, no, go, take that leap of faith. Our instinct is like, no, I can't see the ledge. So, discerning. Discerning this fear. Is this the fear that I need to listen to and not try to push this? Or is this the fear that says, get in front of that fear and let it push you? What is that? That's that discerning. And hey, are we going to get caught up in, hey, trying to explain ourselves because somebody sees a different reputation? That discernment that I need somebody else to be at peace or I'm not going to be able to. Do we need to stand up and defend everything that's been said about us? Every reputation that we have? Is it, does it matter? Some people, it doesn't matter. They're going to see you the way they see you. It has nothing to do with you or anything you do. It has everything to do with what's going on in them. So let's look at that and discern. Discern. Okay, are we getting caught up maybe in somebody else's and we're not looking at ourselves? Are we going, this person keeps throwing me off. They're interrupting my peace. They're interrupting my peace. But when we find that in there, nobody can. That's internal. Nobody can take that away. No matter what's going on the outside, once you tap into that, it's there for you at any time. Nobody can take that away. Love can't be taken away. Alrighty then, and then we going up into the north, up into that inner wisdom. You may not have even known you had in there. Look at that totem of pipes. Free your mind to fly with Eagle the Flyers. And look at that, see? That's the one that's got the little hummingbird in there too. So that's that joy. We soar. Eagle's the only one that soars above the storms. So we can get above our sorrows. We can get above the storms and have a look down and tap into that joy because, hey, that sun is still shining above those clouds. But do we avoid it? We have to still be able to do those deep dives in there too. So what's that wisdom, right? As your fear kept boundaries around you, kept you from being self-reliant, what is that for you, that inner wisdom, that you can free your mind to fly with the eagles? That's the totem of pipes. We're channeling that energy. That's the spirit coming in, coming through. That's the fire energy too. Right? Our passions, illuminations, and clarity. We see that if we don't have firm boundaries, right? We're going to have burdens placed on us. Other people become a burden to us. We get resentful of that because we don't have clear boundaries. We just keep taking on more. And we're not doing our self-care. So we're then getting resentful of those ones we're trying to help. And then we treat them as a burden. And isn't that a horrible thing? Especially our seniors and things like that. What they've given to us, give us life. These sages that have gone before us, and then to treat them as burdens now that they're older, now they need some extra help, now they just get tossed off to the side. Our elders aren't respected anymore in this society. How do you feel about your elders? We can only do that within, for ourselves. How do you treat your elders? Do you show respect? Are you an elder yourself? So how do you treat yourself? Do you treat yourself with respect? Do you honor yourself? Or do you feel like you're a burden so you don't ask for that help? Again, let's look at that, right? Free your mind to fly. Look at all those options. What is that? How are your boundaries holding you in? Are your boundaries becoming a burden? Do you need to loosen them up? Or tighten them up? Maybe you don't have any boundaries. What is that for you? Find that. Maybe because you're so focused out there, that's that inner wisdom. To bring all these together, to start focusing inside, right to that center, that unlimited vision you had for yourself. Never mind the whole family. They need to find that in themselves too. We can't as much as we want to, and it's so hard to let go of it because we love them, and we think we know. Maybe we might, but it's up to them. It's up to them. It's been their timing. Between them and their creator, it's not ours. We can't push anybody into anything. That's not our jobs. It's not our jobs. It's our jobs to be ourselves. And then be an example of being yourself fully, holy, and true. And others go, I want to do that too. Maybe, maybe not. There's always going to be those ones go, I'm going to tear you down because I can't do that. I'm too afraid to let myself shine. So I'm going to snuff out your light so they don't see that I'm not shining too. Or whatever. There we go. Well, that one wanted to come out too, didn't it, with that discernment? So that is, it's letting go of all that we're not. We find that true self. When we're able to let go, we know we're fully, holy, and supported to go and explore that unlimited vision of who we see. We don't have to camouflage anymore. We can let our light shine We're letting go and releasing of all those fears. 5 of Bowls. Letting go that we're not loved. It's seeing. Right? The 4 of Cups is not seeing those offers that are coming in. And then the 5, this would be the 5 of Cups. Can't remember. But that's how we find that true self. Letting go of all those opinions, of everything we weren't. Listening to those sages, maybe even those ones around when we were younger, and go, wow, geez, I always thought you would be this when you were, right? So we can listen to those viewpoints and options and then discern. Discern what's resonating with us. What really clicks in there and goes, yeah, that's it. So we let go. Let go of all those dreams maybe that didn't come true, all those unanswered prayers, whatever, because even a no is an answer to your prayer. Sometimes we can get hooked up on the things that didn't work out and we don't see. We don't see, right? We're still hooked here, right? We're not letting go to get to that next monkey bar. That's how we find that true self. Purifying everything out that we're not, right? And we're appreciating the days gone by. 5 of 6. Appreciate those days gone by. The loves that you did have in your life. You know, we've all had that. We all know what that feels like. And then channeling that light, that apprentice of pipes. This is what we need to do, right? We appreciate those days gone by. Purifying out all, you know, taking that shit, turning it into fertilizer. And then we're channeling the light. That's that self-esteem. When we know, you know, we're living that divine light. How Creator made us to be. We're doing what Creator put us on this earth to do. Woohoo! Like, look at that. Look at that stance. Look at that joy. Right? Tap into that joy because we're being who we are. We're appreciating those days gone by, those struggles, because they helped to bring us here. No matter what, appreciate those days gone by. They helped you to be here and who you are. Right? Discover your purpose, whatever. So we appreciate those days. All the struggles. And we take the love and the lessons and leave the rest. We take the love and the lessons and we leave the rest. Can I, let me see, push it back a little bit more. Too much mess on this table. There we go. We appreciate those days gone by. Woo, there we go. Can you see it all? Oh, except for those ones over there. Okay, there. Anyways. Love yous all very much. That's a long one today. I gotta go get ready. So, be you, fully, holy, and true. That's right. Clear out. You know who you are. And that's what matters most. I mean, Source already knows who you are. So, you know who you are. Connect with who you are. And those without never fool you again. Love you. Thank you. Whoop. Here we go. Wait, don't fall over. Don't fall over. Biggest heart hugs ever. Yes. Thank you for being you. Shining your light through in everything you do. Because this world needs you. Now more than ever, it needs all of us. Every single one of us belong here. You know how you know? Because you're here. You are here. And I'm so glad you are. Keep going. Let that love and light show. Okay? Love you. Got something in my eye. It's my finger. I know. Love you.